I am functional medicine practitioner Claudine Francois. I empower women entrepreneurs by sharing solutions for health on my show, Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Hello and welcome to today's show. I am so excited to have you join us with our guest. And our topic today is how to navigate hormonal changes with mineral harmony with hair tissue mineral analysis expert Lisa Pitel-Killah. And be sure to stay on until the end because Lisa has a very special offer for our community. Now, many of you know that I am a functional medicine practitioner. And if you're experiencing health issues and finding no answers despite numerous tests, I am here to help. Women have gained invaluable insights through the free lab review sessions I'm currently providing for a limited time. And I can help you decode those lab results and empower you to take meaningful action. So be sure to access the link in the scroll or find it in the comments below so that your journey to better health can start now. All right, let's get to today's show. Today's guest is Lisa Pitel-Killah, and she is the founder of Vykon. This is Vykon Health, Vykon Customs, Vykon Supplements. She specializes in mineral balancing using hair tissue mineral analysis and has a background in functional medicine. This woman is smart, y'all. Just wait. Lisa educates health practitioners and individuals using what's called the HTMA testing to regain energy, erase debilitating symptoms, and maximize health. She is the creator of the Foundation Mineral Protocol and the first ever all-encompassing custom mineral powders produced exclusively by Vykon Supplements based on HTMA testings. I'm going to bring this powerhouse up. You're going to be so excited to meet her. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Claudine. I always hear that and I'm like, is that me? I don't know. I don't know if that's me or not. It's almost on no, it's not me. It's somebody else.
Girl, you famous. You're
Well, I
definitely famous in our world.
I am super excited to be here and to share for your audience.
Now, this might throw you for a little bit of loop because I didn't tell you this ahead of time.
Mhm.
But the first thing I ask all of my guests is, what
Yeah.
does a healthy, delicious lifestyle mean to you?
Oh, that's all about balance, right? So, nutrition, exercise, dealing with stress in a healthy way, a little bit of exercise, joyful, good mindset. It's everything put in together with wrapped up with a nice bow. And again, all in moderation. Got to have some fun too.
Yes, you do have to have some fun. I love that. And that is a really good reminder that balance, right? Because I
Yep.
think a lot of us, especially us go-getter women, we're like, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do
Yep.
it 3000%. It's gonna happen, come hell or high water.
Like,
And I don't know this from experience at all, but it can
yeah,
end up throwing you towards the other end of the spectrum. And you really want to have balance. Yes, balance is a good reminder.
absolutely.
Thank you for that. And I want to get to your first tip because your tips are so, so good. And I don't think a lot of people are going to have heard of this before because we talk about HTMA, which is
Mhm.
the hair tissue mineral analysis. I have all of my clients run it because it's so valuable.
Yep.
And just to give a snippet as to what we are talking about, one of your tips is no mineral stands alone. And I wonder if you could tell us a little bit what that means. Why does no mineral stand alone? Because you are the expert.
Okay. So, it very briefly, when you think about minerals, even vitamins too, but we're talking about minerals, each one of them has a synergistic and potentially antagonistic effect on the other. It just depends on how close they are on the periodic table and how they interact with one another. And so that's why it's really important when we hear about supplementation. It's like, oh, you need to take magnesium or you need zinc or you need calcium. We'll talk about that later. They have synergists and even antagonists that may need to be included for you to actually make the proper impact in the body. When you look up, Google the mineral wheel, and you look at that wheel with all the minerals and even the heavy metals on the outside and all of the arrows pointing many different directions, and there are many different lines attaching them, you see just how intricate all of those interrelationships really are.
Oh, that's such a key factor. And you and I have talked about this a lot because I bring my client cases to you so that I can get a better understanding as to what these different ratios mean. So we've
Mhm.
talked about the sodium potassium ratio. We've talked about zinc and copper, which is super important for women who are approaching the change of life, who are going through the
Yep,
change of life, and how important it is to have those in the right ratio
absolutely.
versus just looking at one or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, one is going to affect the other, and that causes a cascade of events down the rest of the mineral system. And we
Mhm.
don't realize that when we don't do the testing. This is why HTMA is so valuable.
Right, and you cut out a little bit, you just said, "This is why, we need to," you won't know that until you do the testing, right? Until
Absolutely.
you get
Yes.
that listing of minerals, and
Yes.
I love this book that you brought up, to share with the audience
Mhm.
because, this book is called The Strands of Health by Dr. Rick Malter. Tell us a little bit about the book. Why do you like it?
So, this is a wonderful book for people just to get more familiar with minerals, with the way that they show up in the hair, showing a little bit of value about why the test is important. And when you think about, so Dr. Malter, he's been studying minerals for over 40 years. He actually studied under the pioneers of mineral balance that made and again, you won't know this yet, but the significant ratio discoveries back in the 1970s, Dr. Watts and Dr. Eck. Dr. Malter actually studied under both of them. And so
Mm.
his take on this and an easy read book is really, really interesting.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing. That's gonna be really helpful for
Yeah.
anyone who wants to have a little bit more understanding of what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right, your next tip is love your adrenals with a cocktail. What kind of cocktail are we talking about here? And why are we loving our adrenals with it?
Okay, so we have to think like, and there you can find adrenal support cocktails all over the internet. There's all kinds of different supports. It comes down to some main pieces. And why are the adrenals so important? Okay. So in pre-menopause, right? When we're menstruating, and adrenals are the secondary support for sex hormones, right?
Mm,
But when we're in perimenopause and moving to the other side, we're in menopause, that becomes primary. And so after menopause, it is extremely, extremely important for us to have high functioning, supported adrenals, because that's the primary now responsibility of the adrenals to make sex hormones. And so as soon as we have stress, that affects our adrenals. So how do we support them? You can do it in a couple different ways. Some people will get up in the morning, have a nice warm cup of water with some sea salt, which directly affects the adrenals in a positive way. A little bit of lemon. Celtic sea salt, my favorite. Thank you for sharing. That is my
mhm.
absolute hands down favorite. You can also do a simple adrenal cocktail even throughout the day, give you a little afternoon boost. Sea salt, a little bit of um, cream of tartar, yeah, which is potassium bitartrate, because potassium is another thing we lose under stress. A little bit of organic orange juice or even some tart cherry juice is a great addition, and some coconut water for some potassium. And if you really want to go to the next level, a little bit of natural vitamin C powder to support the adrenals too. So some great different cocktails that you can use to be able to support the system.
Oh, such a good reminder, and thank you for saying the tart cherry juice. I forget about the tart cherry juice,
Mm.
and that is
Yeah,
a great one, because doesn't that help you sleep as well?
it does. If you have so tart cherry juice helps your body produce melatonin. It
Mm.
also is a great source of potassium. So a lot of times if people take it after exercise, it's a great recovery agent. Also helps again to kind of calm everything down at night, and it can help you sleep.
Oh, so good. I love that little I don't know if the homeopathic's the right word, but like a natural way
Yeah.
to help with sleep rather than popping a melatonin pill that's gonna make you really groggy. Oh, so
Right.
good. All
Yeah.
right, let's talk about better sleep, all right?
Mhm.
And one of your tips is want better sleep, stress depletes magnesium, and we can't get enough from food. So people who have some sleep issues, they could be pulling that magnesium could be getting pulled out of their body and preventing them from sleeping, yeah?
Exactly. So stress, there's a term, it's called MBR, magnesium burn rate.
Mm.
As we deal with stress in our daily life, our magnesium burn rate increases, which means our body calls upon us for more magnesium. And, I would love to say that we can get it all from our food, but in this day and age where our crops are a bit depleted, there's not as many nutrients, not as many minerals, it gets harder and harder. And
Mhm.
so, great way to support magnesium and promote a restful sleep, get in the bathtub. Get in the bathtub with some magnesium chloride flakes or even some Epsom salt, right? Which is actually magnesium sulfate. A great way to support the body, relaxation. Keys to think about for magnesium deficiency. Do you get leg cramps? Do your
Mhm.
toes cramp up? Do your eyelids twitch? Right?
Mhm.
We have these things happen. We don't know why. No, you do know why. It's magnesium. Your body is telling you it needs more with these symptoms and reactions.
And you have shared a great resource in these ancient minerals, magnesium bath flakes. And I will say you're probably the fourth guest who's brought these up. So anyone who's been watching for a while, or if you have any of the symptoms, if you're not sleeping well, for
Yep,
heaven's sakes, these are on Amazon. They're not expensive. Get some magnesium bath flakes, put yourself in
absolutely.
a bath,
Yep,
which actually has a double effect, right? Not only are you absorbing the magnesium through your skin, you're actually forcing yourself to relax. And a lot of my
absolutely.
clients have a hard time forcing themselves to relax. And yeah, just as a reminder for anyone watching, I am still doing those free lab reviews. So if you want to see what's going on in your body, you want to get some answers, you want to get some tips on how you can feel better, be sure to grab one because I only have a few left for the end of the year. All right, let's talk about your last tip, which is a big one for me. I see this in my clients so much, and that is stop taking those calcium supplements. Now, why is that a good advice? Because a lot of people are being told by their doctors they need more calcium.
Absolutely. So I turned 50 this year. Was the first thing that doctors tell me, take calcium. And I'm like, I know better. So we have to remember two things. One, remember, no mineral stands alone. Calcium needs friends in order to be absorbed, like boron, right? Like magnesium, like vitamin K2. That's really important as well. So there's more to just calcium in that picture if you want to look at the whole thing. The other thing we have to think about too is that when we look at HTMA testing and the averages of HTMA, one of the most common patterns we see in women usually is higher elevated tissue calcium. So, what does that mean? It means that the calcium that's inside our bodies isn't in the bones and the teeth where it actually should be. It's in our soft tissues and our organs, and it's being picked up in the hair test. What does that mean though? If you start supplementing with calcium, you're making the dysregulation worse. So we're not benefiting ourselves by taking in that calcium. We need to fix the problem of the calcification in our soft tissues. And then we can do a reassessment to see what our body actually needs so that we have strong bones and healthy teeth.
I want to underscore some things you said there because this is really important for women to understand. When we are stressed, when we have stressors, our body is pulling calcium out of our bones where we really want it. And it's going in, like you said, the soft tissues and the organs. So, what does that look like? I've seen clients with joint pain because it's ending up
Mhm,
in the joints. I've seen clients with kidney stones, gallstones, because
mhm.
those are calcification. That's calcification in in the flesh,
Yep.
or yeah,
Yep.
it's just little stones made of calcium. I all kinds of things that we see happening because someone's taking too much calcium, but it's not
Yep.
where it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see it all the time. All
Mhm.
the time. And what we think we're doing ourselves, we think we're doing something good. And the
Mhm.
other thing that calcification in the soft tissues does, and this can be again exacerbated if we're taking calcium supplementation that isn't depositing in the right place, is we can put a weight on our metabolism.
Yes.
That hinders this change of life process. Now we're tired and we can't lose weight. Maybe we're gaining weight, right? That contributes to all of the symptoms that come right along with that area and time period that we're already dealing with.
Oh, thank you for mentioning that. So important. Lisa, this has been an amazing conversation. I know we could talk about this so much longer, but you gave us so many great tidbits. And I think this is really going to pique people's interest as to what the hair tissue mineral analysis is, what it means for our minerals to be balanced. So I can't thank you enough for being here.
Oh my goodness, my pleasure. I love sharing. And even if one person has an aha moment, that is what it's all about.
Yay. And I do want to mention that Lisa has given an amazing offer to our community. You can get $200 off the HTMA course if you really want to learn about the HTMA test, the process, and I will put the code at the end of this program. So, Lisa, thank you so much. Go ahead and hang out in the green room. I will be right back. Have a mocktail.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Was that not amazing? Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And be sure to join me next Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Central on Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. And just remember, how are you going to create a healthy, delicious lifestyle for you today? You can learn more about my services and products at ingoodcleantaste.com. Be sure to join me every week on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.